High atop the world, on a vast plain, stood the bustling construction site of what was to be the Tower of Babel. The foreman, Ezra, was at his wit's end. Just a moment ago, everyone worked harmoniously, bricks were neatly aligned, and the grand tower reached higher into the heavens. But then, a strange calamity struck. No one could understand each other anymore. Jorge, a burly man with a hard hat perpetually askew, was adamant they were building a pyramid. He tried to convince his fellow workers by drawing crude, triangular shapes in the sand, but confusion only deepened. Nearby, Angie was certain it was a shopping center. She had even started designating spaces for what she claimed were to be boutiques, cafes, and a rooftop garden. Her enthusiasm baffled everyone, especially when she insisted on erecting a neon sign. Meanwhile, Duncan, eccentric and slightly disheveled, passionately argued they were crafting an enormous statue. He held a chisel tightly, occasionally chipping away at random stones, muttering about capturing the essence of the divine. All around, the cacophony of shouted instructions in a dozen languages turned the site into a babel of its own. Workers tripped over each other, bricks tumbled, and some structures defied the laws of physics, stretching out at bizarre angles. Above the chaos, Ezra tried to restore some semblance of order. His megaphone, a last vestige of control, blared incomprehensible commands that only added to the pandemonium. He gestured frantically, pointing at blueprints, but his words were swallowed by the sea of multilingual mayhem. At one point, Jorge attempted to build his pyramid atop what Angie mistakenly believed was the shopping center's foundation. Duncan, engrossed in turning a central column into a fantastical nose of his statue, paid them no heed. The resulting structure became an architectural monstrosity, part pyramid, part shopping center, part unrecognizable art. Amidst this bedlam, Ezra succumbed to the absurdity, throwing his megaphone aside. He watched helplessly as his dream of the grand tower became a comedic farce. In the end, the workers, realizing the futility, gathered and shared a hearty laugh. They couldn't understand each other's words, but laughter, it seemed, was a universal language. The Tower of Babel, a symbol of unity turned chaotic, stood unfinished, an eternal testament to the hilarity of human ambition and miscommunication.